So, hi. Um, this is confusing to me. I've got two, three, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 20, 21 users listed in the chat. My viewer count is showing 2 viewers. I've only got 36 followers to begin with. I'm assume that everyone in the chat is pretty much a bot. Does that sound about right? Is it bot day today? Is it time to, let's, let's do some quick Googling. All right. So okay. So any toe is a bot. First words out of your mouth. Hi, silent author. As we say in Chinese, 好久不见. As we say in English, long time no see. Huh. And so I've got the 20-some lists in the people in the user chat, and silent author isn't one of them. I did nothing to Frank. I've done nothing to Frank for a long time. 3 viewers. Hi, 3rd viewer. And 2nd viewer. I'm not sure who's a viewer and who's not. I am going to ban a bunch of bots, though. Bye there. Bye, any toe. Now, I'm going to assume... It's very strange. So that's definitely a bot. Yes, Frank is safe. Frank is in stasis. Frank is frozen in carbonite until such time as we continue his adventures. Bye, bearded strummer waiting room. I don't know what the point is in actually banning these people. Bobicus! Bobicus! Hi! Long time no see. Ay. Yes, that was indeed a Star Wars reference. Alright, I wonder, actually, is this just a list of stuff I can copy and paste? There we go. Alright, so... I mean, this is an old list, but... 2, 10, 21... Oh, okay. Whole bunch of them. Alright, so... all hail. Okay, so... I'm not going to kill anyone. Don't think today. I'm going to kill my word count. I'm going to slaughter it and get a bunch of stuff written. Yeah. More on that in a minute. I'm going to span the chat with some ban commands here. Oh, maybe if I can do that. There we go. Okay. 500 character limit. All right. So that goes to public, and there we go. Okay. Oh, good. It doesn't spam it when I do multiples. All right. Already had one of them banned. Copy. Paste. I know this is. Oh, hello. Madison. Where are you? These are not in alphabetical order. Oh, okay. So what, it borked the whole thing because one person was already banned? And because the first person was already banned. There. There we go. Okay. And down to Poop Minty. What a great username for a bot. I guess that if you swallow your toothpaste too much, maybe. All right. And there we go. There we go. All right. Banning all of them. Carbob, huh? It's a good question. That is a good question. It might be a bit early for her this time. She was asking after you a couple days ago. And there we go. So many bots, so little time. Pro Gamer Network. Is Pro Gamer Network a bot? Blah, bot. Okay. Ban music and arts. Yes, ban them. Ban those music and arts. Demon Kitty, huh? I already did Public Enemy 821, didn't I? Yeah. Okay, and all the Autobots are auto-banned. I hope this list of bots that I'm copying and pasting. Well, I'm guessing that my VPN server dumped me again if I froze there. Oy. Oh, annoying. Well, so Silent Author is in the chat now. I can see you now. Bobicus is in the chat. Hi, Bobicus. Broke my Stream Deck. Yeah, are you a bot? Yeah. Not recently. Well, I'm going to assume that Broke My Stream Deck is not a bot until I have proof to the contrary. At least for now. Comet Tunes. Well, she's not dumping me. That's that's a relatively safe assumption, I guess. I think she's huddled in bed, trying to stay warm and doing her online sales stuff. It's cold here. Well, I mean, not compared to places where it's really cold, but hey. Yes, you're definitely Canadian. No need to be sorry. I'm the only one who's obligated to show up. Glad you could make it, though. Silent Author was just asking after you. And I am dealing with the 20-some bots that are in my chat for some reason. Curvaceous Natalia. I can't imagine that's not a bot. Do 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 do. No. Eats away. This is tedious. No, you are not. You might be female, you might be a writer, but you're not female writer. This is just silly. Okay. I know this makes for a riveting stream, I'm sure. Okay. Fashionable Camille. Almost certainly a bot. Yeah. Well, unfortunately, not so much. If I was Thanos snapping them, they'd all be gone with one snap, or at least half of them would. But I'm having to do a lot of one-by-one stuff. And I'm wondering if it's even worth the effort. I guess, yeah. The thing that I'm not sure about is what possible harm the bots could do other than just clogging up the chat user list. I'm not aware of any actual harm that could be done. Can they hack me? How can they hack me? I'm certainly not going to claim to be unhackable, but hack me through my Twitch stream? Seems unlikely. And none of them have ever posted anything, like links or anything, any phishing attacks or malicious links or any of that stuff. Bobicus has an underscore after their name now. Yeah. Not just on Friday the 13th. Hades Osiris. I think we're mixing and matching our mythologies here. Oh, Twitch bots. Yes, bots. So my methodology here, probably not the most robust, but what I'm doing is I copy the username of someone who I think might be a bot, and I paste it into Google. And if my search term is Twitch and then the username. Thundercats are go. Or is that Thunderbirds? Thunderbirds are go. Thundercats catch Thunderbirds and bring them into the house half dead. Yeah, so Twitch and then the username of the suspected bot. And if the first 10 results are predominantly Twitch bot lists and ban Twitch bots and bot and Twitch bot and body bot. If there's a bunch of stuff about bots, then I assume it's a bot and I delete it. Okay, ban. Who am I banning? I can't control it. I can. Controlled. You've been controlled. Lurking Miku. Okay, we're getting smaller on the list now. Yeah, bot, body bot. This is not what I had in mind for today. So that was, who did I just get rid of? Lurking Miku. Okay. And then that brings us to Nerdy Dreams. I don't know why, but Nerdy Dreams strikes me as possibly a real person. Nope. Bot. If I'm the Terminator, yeah, well, maybe once I'm done banning bots, I guess I'll be the Exterminator. Here's Silent Author, not a bot. As far as I can tell. So, Stiff FXIV. Bot. Stygian Network. A lot of sticks and Stygian sticks and Underworld Naiad. What's with all the Greek mythology stuff? It's interesting because I've just reread actually, but I just read the first Percy Jackson book, and I'm writing a review of it. Stygian Network does we've got bottage. Yeah. Troubled and jealous, huh? Well, Stygian Network, if you're not a bot, you have my apologies. Bye. Given I have a handful of Stygian somethings that are all sort of in here together. Stygian sticks. Well, I'm going to go out on a limb and assume that that is also a bot. Well, in the remake, she's not a villain. She's just misunderstood. No villain is a villain in their own mind. Well, I mean, that's not necessarily true, but the vast majority of antagonists are the protagonist of their own story, right? Every character is the main character of the story they're living. Okay, so Stygian sticks. I always want to pronounce it Stygian. I'm not sure why. All right, and Uncle Spawn. I quite enjoyed the Image Comics Spawn series back in the day. But yes, as suspected, Uncle Spawn is a bot. Okay, we're getting cleaner. Underworld Naiad. I'm getting to the point where I'm not even searching anywhere. Heading right back to the chat bar to ban. Yes, Underworld Naiad. Bot. Dun dun dun. I've got some stuff to show you guys today too. Viewer of IRL. Are you a bot? Really? You prefer Ghost Rider to Spawn? Okay. I shouldn't sound so skeptical. I'm not familiar with Ghost Rider at all. I've no real idea how the writing is on that or anything. I do know that the Nicolas Cage adaptation was soundly panned by critics and audiences alike, but you know, it's weird. Yesterday, no congestion. My voice was fine all day. Did a bit of recording and editing and stuff. It was great. I think I figured out what it is that was causing the flare up recently. Not coffee, thankfully. I started consuming protein powder again as a sort of a meal replacement for breakfast, which I don't normally eat anyway. So I'm replacing a meal I don't normally eat. Well, let me finish this. Yeah, okay, well, it's coming up as a bot too. So, viewer of IRL, if you're not a bot. No, I'm not a comic book nerd. Not really. I mean, I know who Ghost Rider is. I've seen it. I'm passingly familiar with Ghost Rider, but I don't know that I've ever really read any of the comics. I basically know of Ghost Rider. I wouldn't say I know Ghost Rider. So, and I certainly wouldn't call myself a comic book nerd. Peripherally aware. I collected a few series in my early 20s. Mostly when Image Comics first came out in the early to mid 90s. I guess it was 93, 94. Might have been, was it tail end of high school or was it in university? I can't remember when it was exactly, but I suspect it would have been in high school actually. So that would have been, yeah, early 90s. And I really enjoyed the art style of the early Image Comics, the oversaturated colors, which was unusual at the time, and the I guess just the line art style. I quite liked. And yeah, Spawn was really the only one I remember collecting. I gave up too soon and got rid of them. I don't know if they're worth anything these days or not, but probably. What I realized is I don't really care that much about money. I'm not going to hold on to something I'm not that interested in anymore just because it might be worth money someday. Meh. All right, almost done the... yeah, I guess that doesn't make me much of a collector per se, but... Oh, do that. All right. Oh, waffle butter. Are you bought? You are bought. Okay. Boughtlicious. Yeah, yeah. It was right near the end of my high school years. So I graduated high school in '93. Wars of the Trek Gate Star. Looks like we're getting all of the space opera fandoms in that one. TwitchBot, what a surprise. Okay, now that should be the last of them. All right, anybody else? Bobicus, female restaurant author. Okay, so those two are gone. Broke my stream deck. Well, I'm listing 3 viewers, and Bobicus, female writer, and silent author are the 3 real people that I know of. Well, broke my stream deck is showing up as a bot. Yeah. All right. Bye. And now I'm done. All done banning bots. Until it was ruined. Well, I don't know. I'm of the opinion. Yeah, let's ask that question first. Yes, when was Star Trek ruined? Personally, I'm of the opinion that if you loved stuff in a fandom or stuff in a series or in a universe or world or whatever, and then something came along that you don't love or that you actively hate, that in no way affects the stuff that came before. You can still enjoy that stuff. You can still love that stuff. There's no such... You can't ruin something that you once liked. It's still there. Examples. Ghostbusters is probably the best obvious recent example. People who loved the original Ghostbusters movie were complaining loudly on the interwebs that the new reboot movie was ruining their love of the original movie. And my only response to them is, then don't watch it. Don't watch the new one. Keep the old one. Right? People who loved a book and then a movie adaptation comes out that they're less than pleased with. It's ruined it. No, it hasn't. The book still lives. Go read it. So, yeah, Star Trek Discovery and Star Trek Picard, you don't like them? Okay. But TNG's still there. The original series is still there. No, they are wrong, silent author. They are. Nothing has been ruined. Something new has been made that you don't like. Okay. Don't watch it then. Move on. The prequel movies for Star Wars weren't particularly good. They weren't nearly as worse than the originals as people like to pretend. The originals weren't all that good either. They were just different. A lot of people were complaining that the prequel movies were childish and simplistic, and Yeah, well, Star Wars was made for children, effectively, and the original series was childish and simplistic as well. It's just that you were a child when you watched it. So, I mean, that's my standard response. If you love something, honestly, no, he wouldn't. No, he would not. He absolutely would not. He might have made different choices for some of the spin-off series that have come out. Probably would have. But no, I don't think that he would. I've seen bits and pieces of Picard, and I wondered how the fandom was going to react to it because it is very much in a different vein. It's a different kind of show, more of a character study than it is a grand sci-fi space opera kind of social social analysis. Yeah, I don't know what to call it. It's a different kind of thing. So I'm not surprised that it's polarizing, but I haven't watched it. They killed the character off, or did Brent Spiner die? Is it Spiner or Spinner? I've never I've never known. Should be Spiner, right? No, still alive. 72 years old, dude. Oh, they kill off the character then. All right. Mm. He's 72 years old. That's really old. I thought they were only expected to live 4 years. Or is that replicants? Yeah. I've heard good things about The Expanse. I haven't tracked it down yet. There's way too many things on my to be watched list that I haven't come anywhere near watching. What are you gonna do, right? Mm. Yeah, he is. He's in his 80s. Also Canadian, like female writer and myself. And he's actually been to space, although he's not the first Star Trek actor to go to space. I find that interesting. Although he's the first Star Trek actor to go to space who was an actor first and then went to space. Yeah, I've got I've got a long list of shows that I intend to watch, but I don't really have time. No, it wasn't Scotty. Actually, was there was a NASA astronaut who appeared, who was who acted in, became an actor after she retired from being an astronaut, I guess. Or I don't think she was a guest star, or was on the show because she was an astronaut. I can't remember the details very clearly. I read a little blurb in passing on Facebook a while back, so it might not even be true. Who knows? But what I read was that a NASA astronaut who had been to space ended up as an actress on an episode of a Star Trek series. I don't think it was Next Generation. I think it was one of the spin-offs. But I mean, is it Deep Space Nine? Is Deep Space Nine a Star Trek, or is that? Ah, okay. It was Next Generation. Okay. I didn't recall. That was the Star Trek series I watched when it aired on TV back in the day. And enjoyed it. I watched it quite regularly. But that's sort of when people say Star Trek, that's my Star Trek. That's the Star Trek that my that's my frame of reference for Star Trek is the Next Generation. Shut up, Wesley. I read oh, what's his name? The guy who played Wesley Crusher. I'm gonna look him up now. It's not coming. I know the name. It's not coming. Oh, it's with a Will Wheaton. There we go. Read his autobiography, his memoir, whatever. Yeah, I know. I hear it. And the whole time I'm reading it, I'm just thinking, shut up, Wesley. He's such a whiny guy. Perhaps. It's just, Mom. Come here. Come here. The stream was asking about you. Come here. Come on. Come here. Come on up. No, come here. Hop in. Come up. Here. Yeah. Come say hi. That is a dog. She just had a bath yesterday, so she's all floofy again. Floofy, floofy, fluff, fluff. All right, fine. Put that hand down. Give you some scratches. Ah, yes. See, this is the stuff I was going to show you. I have a new chair and actually another new keyboard, but shh, don't tell the wife. Okay, I know you want to go out and investigate the noises. Are you sniffing my watch again? I'll give you some eyebrow scratches. Itchy eyebrows. She always comes back from the groomer itchy, itchy, itchy. I think she's allergic to the shampoo they use. I didn't watch the original series much. I mean, I saw episodes now and then. I saw episodes on in syndication on Saturday mornings or Sunday mornings. Like on weekends, it would be on in the daytime, and I saw the odd episode. But hey, floofy pup. Hey, floofy pup. Senorita Fuzzy Pants. Oh, okay. Armpits. Itchy armpits. Rib scratches. All right. Now you want to go. I know you want to go. Okay. You said hi. I'll be back in a moment. Yes. Out you go. How could I what? So, I don't know, yeah. Again, I can't really move the camera because it's got a loose cable. But here's the chair. It is a all mesh, ergonomically adjustable. Oh, ow. Nice comfy chair. My old one was dying. It was the fake leather surface of the upholstery had been flaking off for a couple of years now. Actually, it was 6, 7, 8 years old, that chair. And it wasn't particularly adjustable, and it was hurting my back. This is much nicer, actually. Do-do-do. Do-do-do. It was on sale. I am, however... I'll use this for a long, maybe 2-3 years, but at some point I'm planning to go for a Herman Miller. I spend a lot of time in my chair, and why is that lower there? Okay. I can't show you this because it's on the bottom of the chair and I'm not lifting it that high up, but one of the things I did when I ordered this chair, I also bought, you can get rollerblade style wheels for office chairs. They're the bigger, sort of harder rubber wheels, rather than those two little wheels with the cover. The standard office chair wheels are terrible. They don't roll very well generally, and they tend to clog up with dust or break, and so I got better wheels for this chair before the chair actually arrived. I ordered them at the same time, and what a difference it makes, actually, and just in the mobility of the chair, being able to maneuver around. Woo, it's quiet and responsive and lovely, and I like it. Very easy, very cheap, immediate upgrade to whatever chair you're using if it's got wheels. I mean, you wouldn't want to stick rollerblade wheels on like a dining room chair or something. I don't imagine they handle very well, but yeah, so I got that. And this is my current daily driver. Oh, hold on. You know, you'd think that I would remember that I have this. I'm an idiot. Make you guys stare at a tiny little circle in the bottom corner. So, yeah, here. Oh, this is the chair. Oh, look, these are the wheels that I'm talking about. And I managed to find a red one. So it matches my desk mat and my keyboard. My current keyboard. Same keycaps that I was using before with the black and red. I'm trying to think why you would say that. Oh, yeah, because I said I'm an idiot. All right. I don't know. No, I don't think so. I don't think most people are idiots. Although I do sort of keep firmly in the back of my mind the George Carlin line. Think about how dumb the average person is, and then realize that half the people are dumber than that. Oh, that's a good question. 1, 2, 3. Well, okay, so I've got a collection of non-customizable, sort of standard, bog standard, kind of regular old keyboards. 3 or 4 of them sort of stuck up on a shelf behind me. Detritus from my search for a good keyboard. I would order a keyboard, try it out, not like it, order another key. So, but these are all keyboards that you can't do anything with. It is what it is. And then I discovered customizable keyboards recently, as you know. And I have 3 of those. And that's all I'm going to have for quite a long time. I don't need that many keyboards, but it's a journey, right? Discovering what there is and what you want or need in a tool is a journey. I originally grabbed too many wires. I need to clean my office one of these days. I originally grabbed this. This is an IKBC F410. It is a full-sized keyboard, as you can see. It's got the numpad on it. No, I don't. What I do have is a bit of a perfectionist streak. And possibly a shopping addiction, but I'm not sure about that yet. So the first one I got was that full-size keyboard with the numpad. And I was really happy with the switches that I got for it. I liked the typing feel, and I liked, well, the keycaps I didn't really care that much for, but I hadn't tried any good keycaps at that point, so I didn't know what the difference was in terms of feel on the fingers. And I liked the feel of the keys, but it was still not quite right. And I couldn't figure out why remember I used to have a lot of trouble typing when I first started the stream. I was typing poorly and making lots of typing mistakes and miskeying things and all that stuff. And as I was watching, there's this whole little sort of subdivision of YouTube of mechanical keyboard people. It's very niche, but what I realized in watching a bunch of those videos is that numpad is getting in the way. So my yeah, I can't really show you, but I don't use a mouse. I use a trackball. Trackball. And when I put them side by side, if I have a numpad there, the keyboard has to be further away, which means I'm either reaching really far over for my trackball, which is uncomfortable, or I'm sitting off center from my alpha keys on my keyboard, which means I'm typing at an angle, which is not, I'm typing over here instead of typing over here. So I thought, well, maybe I'll try a 10 keyless. I'll try a smaller keyboard. I don't need the numpad that often. I use it. I do. I'm much faster at 10 key than I am at the number row, for example. Yeah. So I thought, okay, well, maybe a shorter keyboard will fit better on my desk, and so I got the Keychron C1, which at the moment doesn't have any switches or keycaps in it. Actually, if you're curious, that is a hot swappable socket. That a switch. Do I have it? Thought I had a switch. Oh. So here is a switch. And that is the business end of the switch that plugs into the board. And that's the business end of the switch that you put a keycap on and click when you click it. Focus. So that just... Ayo. So if you're following along at home, that would just go in there, push it in, and you have a switch in your keyboard. So for this one, you do that 90 times or so, and you're good to go. I don't actually want that switch in the keyboard. So I'll have to pull it out. But to get it out, you need a tool. And I have my tools here. Here's this one. So this is a switch puller. It grabs onto the there's little tabs on the side that lock it in place, and it pushes them in so you can get the switch out. Anyway, so yeah, so I got that one, and the size was good. Size was good. The feel was okay, and this is a plastic case, regular old ABS plastic, like most keyboards tend to be. And I was looking avariciously at the glorious GMMK Pro, which is a sort of a higher end beginner hot swap board that is quite popular. And the thing about the GMMK Pro is that it has a knob. Knob. And it's a programmable knob, so you can set it for lots of different things. In my case, what I would plan to use the knob for is when I'm editing audio and I want to scroll back and forth in my timeline, I can set the knob to move me back and forth in my timeline. Save me grabbing and moving, grabbing, moving with my trackball. Might have been an Apple II. Yeah, trackballs were the original human interface device, actually. Trackballs predate mice, and honestly, for most use cases, vastly superior. You have more control. They're better ergonomically. You don't get repetitive stress injuries to your wrist nearly as much. The one I got, the MX Ergo, stupid names I know, but it's got this neat little sort of magnetically attached plate on the bottom. Oh, hello. Hey, Tutor. That lets me have it straight up and down or at an angle. I always have it at an angle, but you know. Yeah, so I much prefer a trackball to a mouse. Unless I'm, gaming. Certain types of games really do require a mouse. FPSs in particular. Uh, Games like Diablo 3. I was playing that. I was trying to play Diablo 3 with my trackball, and it wasn't working very well. So yeah, I got a mouse for that. I have a mouse for gaming, effectively. Hey, most of the gang is here. Is Bobicus still here? No, Bobicus is gone. That's unfortunate. Wonder how he's doing. So yeah, no, I was looking for a small keyboard with a knob. I wanted to try the knob and see if it was a useful addition to the keyboard thing for me. And I was kind of curious about other types of case materials. So like this is, oh, what is this kind of? It's a plastic as well, but it's a different kind of plastic. No, I did not ban Bobicus. I think he just wandered off. It's not resin, although that is a kind of case material you can get. I forget what kind of plastic it is, but it's a Kidus NJ80. It doesn't say what material it's made of. Hard to say. I forget. Anyway, it's a much heavier keyboard, and the sound is much more muted, which for me I like. A lot of custom keyboard people are all about tuning the sound and getting the type of sound they want, and a little more clack and a little less thok. I'm not gonna say that they are suffering from or falling afoul of the placebo effect, but I don't find that I care personally about what particular sound each key makes. Um, what I want out of a keyboard is a very, a certain feel to the typing, and as little sound as possible, honestly. I don't want noise when I type. So this keyboard is actually quite muted. Let's see if I'll throw some. I realize that I don't have my document up on the screen at the moment, but so I don't know if that's showing up or if it's being killed by the noise reduction, but it's very quiet, very muted. There's no high-end clicky sounds. There's no hollow, thocky sounds. It's just a nice muted, sedate tapping sound that doesn't bother me, which is enough. And yeah, the knob is useful, I think, or potentially useful, but I'm also thinking that so I've shown you my macro keyboard before that I use for like controlling the stream, and I have some editing shortcuts on there for audio editing and stuff. Well, this is a 23 key macro keypad, programmable macro keypad, and it's nice. Yeah, I mean, I'm not. Yes, absolutely, and I don't really mind a noisy keyboard either. Although, like the clicky mechanical keys, like the Cherry Blues, for example, they actually have an extra bit of. Wolfpack system. Yeah, mm, okay. That should have that sorted for now. Sorry about that. I'm not sure what's going on with my internet lately. Nothing I do seems to make much of a difference on a permanent basis. So, um, hi, Wolfpack System. Welcome to the stream. Um, feel free to introduce yourself and let us know who you are and what you do. Are you a writer? Are you a reader? Are you neither of the two and just accidentally stumbled upon the stream? Are you in the Twitch Writers Network Discord server? I posted my stream in there today. All right, I'm going back to this. Am I going back? No, I'll go back. I'll stay here. So yeah, I was going to say I've got my little macro keypad, 23 key, but I've discovered the existence of another one that has 24 keys. Ah, okay. So, Shifter Universe, romance oriented or straight fantasy oriented, dark fantasy, grimdark, what style of stuff? I know a lot of the Shifter stuff tends to be romance, but not all of it, so worth asking. Ah, okay, urban grim fantasy. Yeah, okay, cool. I was yeah, I've got a back shelf project that involves sort of similar tropes but in a different way. I'll get to it someday. Someday I will. I write fairly wide expanse of speculative fiction, sci-fi, fantasy, horror, combinations of the bunch. At the moment, I'm working on this, which is I'm calling it literary sci-fi, but I don't know. I find the whole literary, non-literary division to be really pretentious and kind of, it makes me punchy, as in I want to punch people. Cool. Plot twists are one of my favorite things. Okay, so yeah, I was gonna say, I've discovered the existence of another one similar to this, only on the side, be on this side, I guess. It's got 3 turning knobs that are programmable. I'm very scattered today. You'll have to bear with me. And I don't know that I need 3 knobs, but 1 certainly would be useful. And having it to the side where my left hand can go when my right hand is on my trackball would make for a much better editing flow. The knob being on the right side of my keyboard, right next to my, excuse me while I rub my eye. Do 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 do. Shrink ray. So shifters and a shrink ray. So now you have tiny shifters. Do you have, is it various types of shifters or straight up just wolves? All the animals and tiny humans. Honey, I shrunk the wolves. So, where were we? What were we doing? Oh, thanks for the follow, by the way. So 5 viewers. Who do we have? Oh, Dinoretta is here. Hi, Dinoretta. Konnichiwa. Genki desu ka? I'm going to keep doing that. I aim to be inclusive. All right. You know what? So, yeah. The small with knobs macro keypad. I won't be getting it for a while, but it's on my list. It's in my cart on Taobao. Like 300 yuan. What does that work? That's about $60 US. So certainly not something I need or something I plan to spend a bunch of money on in the near future, but cool beans. Very cool. Oh, well, while I'm thinking of it, you may want to join in on our Discord server, which is there. It's called Readers and Writers, and it is small but mighty. So we just set up a Flash Fiction Challenge channel where we can post our Flash Fiction challenges. Which reminds me, actually, I want to... not bound by the laws of physics. Hilarity would do. Okay, so everyone who's a writer can get into the... Oh yeah, I did set that up. Okay, I'm just checking that it occurred to me I may not have set up the Flash Fiction channel to allow us to link files or post files in the channel, so... One inch to 40 feet. Okay. No square cube law. And yes, I did set up the Flash Fiction Challenge channel to allow for file postage. So, there we go. Now, I don't remember what book it was or who wrote it. Oh, it was Terry Pratchett that I'm thinking of. There's a... Granny Weatherwax's cat. Well, not her cat, but the cat that hangs around her place gets transfigured into a human form at one point, but he's still a cat. And hilarity ensues because, you know, Terry Pratchett. But yeah, the idea of animals that can shapeshift into human form rather than humans that shapeshift into animal form. That idea is something I've been meaning to play around with. You know, born a cat, but can shift into human form. That kind of thing. That might make for an interesting scenario. Yeah. So the square cube law exists, but doesn't affect this group of people. Okay, I gotcha. Because magic. I'm familiar with the concept. I've made use of similar similar explanations before. Although I do tend to try and maintain logical consistency with the known laws of physics where possible. Not always. I mean, anything with a magic system. I said magic. Anything with a magic system is already sort of playing fast and loose, but adding a certain amount of accountability and that kind of thing. Yeah, no, it's, I mean, yeah. Don't don't take my snide comments as criticism. They're not meant to be. I'm just thinking of the difference between, say, like an early George Martin, like the Wild Card series, that kind of thing, or Ian M. Banks with his Culture series, or most of the classic sci-fi, which I realize isn't fantasy and doesn't usually have magic, but any sufficiently advanced technology, right? I'm trying to think of fantasy where that follows the kind of thing that I'm talking about. Yeah, okay. So I guess where I would come down on that in terms of my preferences as a reader and as a writer, I guess, um, is just it comes down to consistency. As long as the rules, such as they are consistent throughout, I'm cool. Excuse me for a second. So yeah, I mean, if characters can get as big or as small as they want and not have to deal with things like, thank you, things like, oxygen absorption, and no, rules are not meant to be broken. That's nonsense, silliness. Rules are meant to be followed. That's why they're there. Rules may be broken if they're broken for a reason, a compelling reason, but rules are there for a reason. What I find, and keep in mind that I spent a long time as a teacher of, yeah, I have a feeling that if we were all D&D characters, Silent Author 1942 would very much be chaotic neutral. Tell me I'm wrong. I've taught thousands and thousands of middle grade aged people as they are learning to write and exploring their skills, and I would say 11 times out of 10, when someone says rules are meant to be broken, it's because they couldn't be bothered to learn the rules in the first place, and they want to justify that. All babies are born chaotic neutral. That's what babies do. Babies are a mess. Yeah, most people who say rules are meant to be broken are the kind of people who just don't want to be bothered learning the rules. I break rules all the time, but I try to make sure I'm doing it for a reason, for a compelling reason, because of something I want to do. I know. I know you said that. I don't try to say anything. As Yoda said, say or say not. There is no try. Or something like that. Anyway. Alright, speaking of rules, I did say that I was planning to smash some word count today, and I have done exactly 0 words. Alright. So, I was encountering a lot of resistance in writing this scene, and I couldn't figure out why. And I realized yesterday that I think the younglings are safe. Most of them are already dead, right? Um, yeah. Yeah, I figured out, I think I know that the resistance, okay, I know it's alcohol. I'm not sure what kind of alcohol. Is it hard liquor or is it beer? Craft brewery. There we go. Beer. Pennsylvania. I haven't, yeah, okay. I haven't had a beer in a while. I like whiskey too. I'm not much of a drinker. I do like what I like though, and I do enjoy a good beer. And I can't really vodka. Not my favorite. Tastes like nail polish remover to me. Even the good ones. I don't like the taste of alcohol effectively at all, actually. I do like beer because beer doesn't taste of alcohol. Oh, we're talking about what we like to drink. Uh, I like a Hogarden for beer, for sort of mass-produced beer. There is a growing and thriving craft brewery scene here in Hangzhou, which for China is unusual. This is a new thing, but there are 5 or 6 really good craft breweries in town now, and there were none before, so that's good. This is all within the last couple of years, year or two, um, and they make some good stuff. I quite enjoy their brews. Not that I get out that much or partake very often, but I enjoy them. But for sort of mass-produced, um, like the Belgians and the German beers that I enjoy, yeah, I find that I'm starting to think I might be gluten intolerant or something, allergic to something in beer and bread, because bread bothers me quite a lot. Most breads, not all breads, but most breads. And beer tends to, I get stuffed up and kind of really headachy and the next day, even if I only have a couple. Um, it's not a hangover. It's just like an allergic reaction, effectively, is what it feels like. So I do have to partake cautiously. Um, yeah, of all of the alcohols, the only ones that I ever really drink or enjoy are beer, gin, and scotch. Well, whiskey in general, but I used to quite enjoy very expensive scotches. Um, Mostly when someone else was buying, but and some less expensive ones as well, I guess. That's fair enough. But I do like scotch. Scotch doesn't like me very much. Gin, yes, please. Um, and beer. Those are my only three, really. I, vodka, no. Um, my group of friends, my group of expat friends here in Hangzhou, most of them are gone now, but um, fair enough. Um, there was a big push towards tequila for a long time. Um, to other parts, some people have moved. There's one couple moved to Hong Kong. She's from here and he's from the States. They moved to Hong Kong. The bunch of the French guys, some of them went back to France, and one couple went to Estonia. Yeah, all over the place. Back to the States, back to Canada. By all means, dad joke away. So yeah, the average half-life Wolf's favorite holiday. Nothing's coming to mind. I'm a bit slow this morning. What is a wolf's favorite holiday? Arbor Day. Is that because of the trees? As in lifting a leg? It's ironic because Arbor Day is also a pirate's favorite holiday. Is it the short little arms? I bet you it's the short little arms. Because they're dead. I like the kind of jokes that have multiple possible answers so that the person you're asking never gets it right. Pirate's favorite letter, it's either R or S, or R or C, depending on how you answer. But sorry, I broke the rules of dad jokes by giving both answers at once. I used to know a bunch of pirate jokes. Is it 2:30 tooth? Tooth o'clock? 10 to tooth? 12 noon. Okay. I don't get the joke. Tooth hurdy. And I'm sitting here at 2:30, bypassing the punchline. Okay, so I'm noticing that my VPN is chopping out again. Hold on. All right. Yeah, are we good? Are we back? No, still bouncing in and out. Ooh, Silent Author is a fan of yours already. Nothing better than character murder. All right, I've got solid. No, I've got solid connection on my server, and then as I say that, it chops out again. This is really annoying. Well, it's certainly more socially acceptable than actual murder. So, there's that. Yes, we were going to discuss the Flash Fiction Challenge and come up with a prompt for it. Oh, and Silent Author, I don't know if you've been checking out the Discord last couple of days, but I've updated all the critique channels for everybody who's a critiquer and fixed the permission problems in the reader genre chat areas and the book recommendation area, so that you can actually post in them now. So that's good. And we have a Flash Fiction Challenge channel now for Flash Fiction Challenges. So lots of updates. Flash Fiction prompt. Anyone have a suggestion? Let me. I did suggest that we might come up with a prompt on the stream today. I'm gonna say no. I'll tell you why. Because I would prefer that the Flash Fiction prompt be something that nobody is working on or currently writing already. Something different for all of us, something out of the norm. We could do that. We could all start with the same sentence. There was a... Stop suggesting elements from your work in progress. There was a Flash Fiction challenge I used to take part in. I don't know if it's still running or not, actually, but the person running it would create a list of 10 really unusual words. I think if we're okay, so for a Flash Fiction challenge that a bunch of us are working on together or in parallel, we would be specific. So we would start it as like we would pick a genre or pick genres to do that with. So Flash Fiction that starts like it's a romance story but ends up being a horror story. Something like that. So we would pick a specific couple of genres. But and if we're doing one a week, we've got lots and lots and lots of things coming up. So yeah, the idea of like starting one way and ending the other, I like that. But if we're specific about the way. Okay, I've got a list of them. Oh yeah, the challenge I used to take part in, the challenge runner would come up with a list of 10 really unusual words, and the challenge was to incorporate those words into a story of 500 words exactly. And so you got points for including as many of the words as you could, and then the person who ran it would pick a best story each week, or each however often it was run. I don't remember how often it was run. I wrote a few for those. Oh, here's one. Here's a good one. Well, you weren't required to use all 10 words. Bonus points if you used all 10 words, I guess, or like kudos from the community. But just as many as you could reasonably work in without compromising your story. I mean, all 10 words every time for me, but it's needlessly competitive in my mind. I don't necessarily want to go down that road any more than we need to. I don't want it to be competitive. I'd rather do something collaborative. And I'm breaking up again, I see. God. All right, I'm going to try and server hop again here. Before I do that, oh, that's an image, so I can't copy from there. Where was it? How about this? about this for I like the idea of a first line challenge. We could start with those because that's an actual prompt rather than a challenge. I'd rather have a series of flash fiction prompts, and we'll see how it goes if we find that we want to challenge ourselves down the road beyond just writing something, which is a challenge in and of itself. So the idea of like a first line challenge, I like that. Why don't I've got a list up here of prompts. I'll grab a couple that seem interesting to me, a few, and we can maybe vote on them or pick from those, narrow it down a bit. Ooh, that's got possibilities too. And one that's not a first line, but rather a sort of an idea prompt. Anyone want to throw any other first lines into the mix? So we've got start in one genre, end in another. And given that we have, are we going to say, do we want to stick with 500 words or we want to go up to 1,000? I hope we all realize that 1,000 words is much easier than 500. My students would always choose. Yeah, okay. My students would always choose 500 given the choice. You want 500 words or 1,000 words for this little story, the scene? I'd have them writing scenes rather than whole stories. And they'd always say 500 words, 500 words. I'm like, are you sure? And then they'd start writing and realize that there was no way they could fit what they wanted to do in their scene into 500 words. Oh, can we do 1,000 words, Mr. Mans? So, yeah, they'd always pick 500 words off the bat, and then we'd always end up doing 1,000. Do we want to? Let's keep it shorter. 1,000 words. I think we can fit something good into 1,000 words. 80,000 words. Let's do an 80,000 word flash fiction challenge. Yeah, it's 1,000,000 words. Yeah. Well, if you write them, I'm not going to promise to read them. Let's put it that way. But if you want to write them, that's on you. Who do you think you are, Tad Williams? I mean, yeah, it's kind of like the genre thing, right? Genre is for bookshelves, not for writers, and word count limits are for. I mean, they're very flexible. It's whatever we decide we want it to be, really. The idea of like this is flash fiction and this is a novella and this is a novel, and they're guidelines. They're just sort of to give people an idea of what to expect. If you say, "Oh, I just wrote a novella," they have an idea of sort of what size of story that is. Or I wrote a short story. I wrote a piece of flash fiction. I mean, it's just to sort of ballpark how big of a story it is, really. As a tool for writers, it's of limited use. flash fiction. The idea of flash fiction is that it's quick to write and quick to read. It's like it's in a flash, right? Generally, people will classify 500 words or less as flash fiction, but I've seen, For Sale, Baby Shoes, never used. That was Hemingway's supposed 6-word story, although likely apocryphal. I don't know if he actually wrote that one or not. But yeah, that's sort of the go-to example of the 6-word story. I used to do that with my students too, and took part in some 6-word story challenges on DeviantArt when I was a part of the writing community there. I've seen the definition of flash fiction expanded up to 1,000 words, but I don't think I've ever seen it longer than that. Once you get over 1,000 words, you're kind of pushing into short story territory, really. Short stories are usually anywhere from 2,000 to 8,000 words, I guess, depending on how you want to divide things up. And then novellas are anything up to about 20,000 words, give or take. 30,000? I guess 20 to 30,000 would be sort of like the normal range for a novella. But anything longer than a short story and shorter than a novel could be called a novella. And then anything over about 40,000 words is a novel, although 40,000 words is a short novel. And then anything over 100,000 words is a Tad Williams novel. I dump on Tad Williams a lot for the length of his books, but I'm glad they're as long as they are because I quite enjoy reading them and I don't want them to end. So, I mean, yeah, these divisions are arbitrary. They're just ways that the publishing industry has decided to split things up a bit so as to reference the length of a work more easily. It's fine. I think anything under 1,000 words for our challenges is perfectly fine. We can all read, in terms of like reading each other's stories and stuff and writing them. I don't want it to take more than an afternoon, a couple of hours in the afternoon to hammer out a reasonable story based off the prompts we do. We don't want it to be work. We don't want it to be onerous. We don't want it to be time consuming. We're all busy. And 1,000 words is doable, or less than 1,000 words is doable. I have a feeling most of us will end up right around 1,000 words if we say 1,000 words. And I have a feeling that Silent Author will end up at about 2,400 words if we say 1,000 words because they want to. At any rate. Yeah. I think for our purposes, 1,000 words is fine. If we want to do a challenge, a more challenging thing down the road where we specify, 500 words, no more than 500 words, or a specific number of words, that can make for an interesting challenge as well. Although it reminds me too much of my freelance content writing. Well, you could, under 1,000 words includes under 500 words as well. You could write a 300-word story if you want. The shorter you go, the more challenging it is to fit all of the elements of story in. The more you have to imply. Like a 6-word story, it's all implication, right? You're not. There's no exposition at all. There's no dialogue. There's no room for anything other than implied story. So you're leaning very heavily on the reader sort of having a similar body of knowledge and a similar background and a similar familiarity with stories that exist already, really. The longer you go, the more room you have to do things. So yeah, no, it's a really good way. There's a reason a lot of newer writers start with flash fiction. One, you get fast iteration, so you can write and finish a story quickly, which means you can do lots of them in a shorter period of time. I mean, you're not spending a year on a novel only to find out that there are fatal flaws in your understanding of story, and your dialogue sucks and you don't really have characters anyone's going to care. Basically, you can find the problems quicker and in theory fix them, the more stories you write. And so writing shorter stories allows you to write more stories more quickly. You also get that feedback loop, that positive feedback loop of completing things. Even if the things aren't very good, you complete them, and that completion gives you a bit of an endorphin rush, and your brain chemistry reinforces the habit of sitting down, writing, and finishing. And finishing is important. So I mean, there's that. It's also challenging. The other reason it's a good exercise for newer writers, for everybody really, but in particular for newer writers, is that it forces you to really hone in on what makes a story, and what makes this story that you're writing this story, what's important and what's not, what's vital and what's extraneous to the story. It's a very good exercise for everybody who's writing stories. And yeah, it's a challenge. Getting a compelling story down into that amount of space is hard. So, okay, well, why don't we do this? We'll take those 4 or 5 ideas there. The blood one, the floor one, winter, the bicycle one, and the genre switchy one. And I'll throw that into a message on the Discord, and we can vote on it in the Discord. All right, I'm gonna need some numbers. That's foods. Where are all my? Okay, I got flags. I don't want flags. I got letters. Do I have numbers? I should have. Oh, there's the numbers. All right, so I got 1. And then 2. Yeah, like a poll. Like you can vote with a reaction. I'll set up the reactions, and people can vote for the one they want in the Discord, and we'll go with whatever has the most votes. And then we've also then got a list of other ones we can use when we are finished that one. 3. I'm making it now. I am making it now. Do. 4. and 5. We'll have 5 options for this, our first poll. Okay. So do that. I will pin this. Oh yeah, pin it. And I will react with 2, 3, 4, and 5. There. I've now voted for all of them effectively. Okay. There. So in the Flash Fiction Challenges channel, I have set up a little survey. You can vote. You can vote for more than one, obviously. But try not to vote for all of them. If everyone votes for all of them, we won't have a clear winner. So, yeah, I've got a busy day today, and I haven't gotten to any of the stuff that I was meant to be doing. All right, move that back over here. I think I will. Well, okay, I'll hold off. I'll wait and see how this first batch goes, and if we enjoy it and it looks like something we're going to keep doing, I will go around and curate a list of prompts that we can just pick from in future. Yeah, no, I wanted to get a bunch of writing done, a few thousand words done writing on this story, and then I'm also today planning to film for an online class that I'm making on audio recording. So, what are you gonna do, huh? Well, I'll tell you what. What time is it? It's 11. Okay, so I've got an hour before I really should. I was planning on streaming from 9 to 11, actually, but I haven't got any writing done. I'm gonna wander off. I'll be back in a minute. I need to go and top up my beverage. I'll just mute myself. Chat amongst yourselves. Oh, I keep doing And I'm back. All right. I did not see Spider-Man No Way Home. It's not released in China yet. Wink, wink. Sorry, I just check on my... Yeah, not sent yet. I ordered a bunch of junk food, basically, in advance of Chinese New Year. Bunch of like potato chips and stuff, and some fast noodles because I like those for lunch once in a while. Like the old instant ramen, Ichiban kind of style thing. All from the same shop on Taobao. And they, for some reason, split my order into two parts, and they sent the ramen, which arrived a couple days later, and they still haven't shipped my potato chips, which is coming up on a week now. Getting annoyed. Yeah, I've read reviews. I've heard that it was a very good movie. And Tom Holland is my favorite Spider-Man by a second favorite Spider. Into the Spider-Verse is my favorite Spider-Man movie. One of my favorite movies, period, full stop. No, me personally, I don't care. I don't buy into the whole spoilers mentality. Um, it's been several decades since I was really surprised by a plot twist. I hope I can get some writing done today too, but it seems unlikely. I'm never surprised by plot twists. Very, very seldom. And the surprise of a plot twist isn't really what I enjoy about a story anyway. I'm more interested in the way that the story is told, in the mechanics of it. And honestly, studies back this up. Scientific, clinical, controlled, double-blind style studies back up the idea that knowing what happens in a story ahead of time actually increases your enjoyment of it, contrary to the popular belief. People who are given spoilers before watching a movie enjoy it more. I mean, subjectively, it's social science, right? Not real science, but yeah, that's what the research generally shows. And yes, she did burn me. I'm burned. I am dead. I is dead. Whatever the kids are saying these days. Why is my eye so itchy today? Poke my eye out. So, yeah, no, I personally don't care about spoilers at all. I sometimes tease people because it's a thing, but not a thing that bothers me. But it does bother other people, so you probably should avoid spoilers anyway. All right, let me take a look at this. I'm going to get into my story here. Mm. Okay, what am I writing today? And don't think I don't know what you're doing, because I do. I'm on to you. I am writing the same scene I've been writing for 2 weeks now. But I finally realized this is the name of this scene is makes the breakthrough, and I made a bit of a breakthrough yesterday. I realized that what was the resistance I was feeling in writing this scene was because I'm I will be submitting it to somebody for reading, pretty much as is, um, and so that I'm feeling this pressure to make it good rather than making it finished. So, hence the title of my stream today. Something. What is it? Finally realized that. Yeah, finally remember that I'm writing a first draft, not a finished novel. Rawr. So make it done first, then make it good, right? And I should know better. There's no firm deadlines really with this. It's a directed self-study course, a 400 level 4th year course. Generally, the course that it's 2 courses actually that I'm combining. It's meant to be an extended research project, but meh, homie, don't play that. I don't like research projects. I like writing stuff, so I'm using it as a vehicle for writing and getting feedback on a novel length piece of fiction. That's what I'm doing. So no, it's overdue in the sense that it's past when I was planning to submit this first section. Yes, by almost 2 weeks now. By 2 weeks, by a little over 2 weeks now. It's the 17th today. So yeah, it's overdue in that sense, but not in the sense that I might get in trouble for it. Nope, it's not. But okay, so here I go, doing some writing. Okay. Right, I was doing that. Sorry, I felt a sneeze coming on there. All right, so more internal monologue. There's a lot of internal monologue here. Okay, I'm gonna have to. I'm sitting at about 1,000 words, and I don't want this scene being any more than 1,500. is a word. Learn it. All right, so what was our last countdown? 87%. Go 90, 96%. One thing I'm not used to on this currently used keyboard of mine is that I don't have all of the navigation buttons, like the home and end. I don't have home and end. I've got page up and page down, and I've got delete. I don't have home, end, or insert as separate keys. I mean, insert, I never really use insert anyway, except by accident. But yeah, home and end I use quite a bit, but home and end are accessed by the function key and page up and page down. So home is function page up and end is function page down. So I need two keys to do that. Whereas on all my other keyboards I've ever used, I only need one key. So, that's taking a bit of getting used to. I'll get there. So I figured, 12 minutes per percent was what I calculated for my countdown timer. 2 hours and 24 minutes. 87 to 96 is 9%. I'm going to use a calculator. Okay, 9 times 12 to get in there, 108 minutes, which is an hour and 48 minutes. 2 hours and 24 minutes minus 1 hour and 48 minutes. So we've got 1 hour and 24 minutes. 48, 24, 24, 60, 40, 36. An hour and 36 minutes? No, just 36 minutes. But you know what? Who says it goes at a steady rate? It might not. I don't like 30. It's too even. 27 minutes remaining. So I go to all that effort to calculate the appropriate number, then I ignore it. Welcome to my world. Oh, no need for anxiety. This, you mean the story itself or this scene? Because this scene isn't really going much of anywhere, unfortunately. There's a lot of setup happening here, and I'm trying to keep it snappy and get it out of the way so that we can get on to the plot more so. But Setting up the story, setting up the setting and the premise. Ah, okay. Good. I'm glad. I'm glad to hear that. So there is some suspense and some stakes being built and being established. I was worried about that because it's if I'm completely honest with you and myself, so far it's feeling a bit flat. But again, I've spent more time in this scene than I usually spend in any scene, sort of stretching it out over a couple of weeks now. So, I don't know if you're gonna like what happens when it hits 100%, but we'll get there in a few minutes. I hope so. I'll wait and see. So, just double check here. So he was told. Hans Gruber is more of a splatter than a flat. I don't think he flatted so much as splatted. All right. John McClane. Yippee-ki-yay, silent author. Ah. Okay, probably problems. I don't like the way that scans. Likely problems that weren't worth the effort necessary to solve them, but that's not likely, I'm sure. I did paraphrase that. This is a family-friendly stream. Sort of. Very, very few things that I do are likely to be classified as friendly. I'm not a very friendly person, I'm told. When is it family friendly? Well, I don't curse. I try not to curse on stream. We generally don't go into topics that would be unsuitable for a wider audience. Is there... Oh, there's the rules channel. Okay. Sorry, I had that section was minimized and I couldn't find the rules channel. on the Discord server. Someone was asking. I can't read the rules. Hold on. More permissions issues. You got to let me know. Well, view channel. Oh, okay. Message history. Read message history. See, the issue, the problem is when I set up the server, I wasn't a big user of Discord. I wasn't sure how things worked exactly. Okay, well, you know what? Why don't I do this? Why don't I do... cancel. I'll just set up permissions for the category and everyone and view channels, yes. And then read message history. Okay. I don't want people posting in there, so I sort of disabled all of the text chat ones. But, okay, rules. Go back and edit that one. Permissions. It is synced. Okay, escape. Good. Bots. Wolfpack system, level 1. Good game. Yeah. All right. What am I drinking? I'm drinking rooibos tea, which isn't tea at all, but I believe it's the bark of a South African bush. Actually, let me... Rooibos is a plant. It's red bush, yeah. It's a broom-like member of the plant family Fabaceae that grows in South Africa's Fynbos. The leaves are used to make a herbal tea. So it is leaves, okay. Red bush tea. I believe that's what rooibos means. It's red bush. Caffeine-free, meant to be full of antioxidants. Yeah, we're switching back and forth between the two. Maybe you weren't invited to the Discord. You're on the Discord. General writing stuff. Tiny funeral. My brain provided... The Wolfpack system is on Discord talking about their work in progress. I keep saying his. I don't know anything about anybody's gender, but their work in progress, and a pack of tiny wolves just had a tiny funeral. And then my brain provides me with an adaptation of Elton John's Tiny Dancer. Hold me close, tiny wolf pack. Hold me close. No, I won't sing it. Copyright strike. Yeah, it's the one. Except I switched out Tiny Dancer with Tiny Wolf Pack. And I think I mistyped closer. Yeah, I said, hold me close, tiny wolf pack. All right. All right, so I'm over 1,500 words now. Ah, yeah, I actually was pretty proud of myself. I went to bed around 2:30 last night, which the night before it was, I think, 4 or 5 most of the nights this past week. So a bit earlier last night. I mean, I got up at 7:30. So probably not as much sleep as I could have got, but enough, I think, for today. And hopefully that means I'll be going to bed at a reasonable time tonight and get back to a more workable schedule. Dude. Uh, something there. I need to... $30 months, 20, so 2 years. So call it 2 years. There's 2. We can't see if they live 2 years. 10 will be 20 years. They haven't been working 20 years on this. So we've got 2 votes. 2 votes for the color of her blood was the least of his worries. We've got 1 vote each for The Floor Tasted Like Something. For A Story That Begins and Ends with a Bicycle. And for A Story That Begins as a Horror but Ends as a Romance. And we've got a couple people who voted for 2, which is fine. I was wondering why there were so many votes. Usually not so active. All right. Okay. All right. Not to be teased, but I do need to use the bathroom. So I'll be back in a moment. And then I will do the completion reaction. There we go. Okay. So we've got... Oh, yeah, that's where my cursor was. Oh, okay. So for some of the details, I'm gonna have to do a bit of... Okay. Saw the feed cut out there for a second. I'm gonna have to do my research, my research into longevity research, find out what the current state of the art is, as it were, so that I can include some details. So this is where I'm putting the details about the things and the stuff. Okay. I always feel like a bit of a traitor when I spell like realize with a Z. I won't call it a Z though. Or color with no U. I'm Canadian. We spell things Canadian way. We use the U in color. We spell eyes, realize, with an S, not a Z. Although I spent a lot of time teaching American English as an ESL teacher, and I do have to say that calling the letter Z instead of Z makes more sense. It rhymes with all the other letters that rhyme with it. There is no letter that rhymes with Z. The alphabet song makes more sense in the United States. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, I always feel a bit traitorous spelling things the American way. But yeah, bed's not a letter. Bed is not a letter. A bed said dead, ed fed, ged, head, yed, jed, ked, led, med, ned. They all rhyme if you say them right. This was something that kind of freaked me out when I first got here and started teaching. I was teaching kindergarten age students, and from kindergarten to middle, actually from preschool up to middle school. So like 3-year-olds up to 12, 13-year-olds, not in the same class, but across several different classes. And so I ended up singing the alphabet song an awful lot those first few years. And here in China, when they sing the alphabet song, they don't sing LMNOP. They sing LMNOPQ. So it's like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Threw me off horribly for a long time. Confused a bunch of little kids too, because they had all learned it that way. And here I am, LMNOP. Like, what did you do there? Why is that so fast? But yeah, there was a time where I was adamant that if I ever had to sing the Wheels on the Bus again, I would shoot myself in the face and take a bunch of people with me. I was done with all of those kindergarten songs. I don't feel quite so strongly about it these days, but I don't think I have the energy for kindergarten teaching anymore. All right. Oh, yeah, yeah. Not a problem. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Keeping in mind that I don't have a very firm grasp on alphabetical order, so in order to figure out where letters are, I have to mentally recite parts of the alphabet in my head, and I don't do it in song usually. So no, that's not a that's not a problem. Not that I have to alphabetize things that often, but when I'm looking for something, like looking for a file in a big folder full of files, for example, or whatever, and I'm trying to figure out where it is in the file, looking for a landmark, as it were, so I know to go up or down in the scroll. Um, I quite often, not for all letters, but for some of the less commonly used letters. I don't know, is that a thing? For some letters, I find I have to kind of recite a little section of it in my head to figure out where it is in relation to other letters. I think that's fairly normal. I think that's most people. I hope. Oh, whatever. Actually, it doesn't matter. But yeah, so I'm used to reciting the alphabet without singing it. Although there are there are songs that are stuck in my head probably forever. Little bits of songs from like the old kids shows that were on in the late '70s, early '80s, like 1, 2, 3 Countdown, or 3, 2, 1 Countdown rather, or Electric Company, Sesame Street. The ones we watched when we were kids. There's one about Tion, the phonetics. Tion, shun, 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 shun. Pretty jazzy little number. That's stuck in my head forever. And now it's stuck in my 11-year-old's head because when I was teaching him English phonetics, that came up. All right, so I'm going to finish this scene. It's almost done. I'm going to call it a day after this scene is done, by the way. Yeah, it's afternoon already here. A 3 hours and 12-minute stream, dude. Okay. There, why am I switching screens and check it? I'll check that later. Got it back. Oh, that would be, yeah, no, I wouldn't leave you hanging like that. Come on. I'm on it. I'm on it. I'm gonna stubborn my way through it this time. I don't care what the internet starts doing at 12 o'clock. I've been doing I've been researching this. The particular model of Wi-Fi router that I have fairly commonly has a problem where after a certain amount of time, it renews the it renews the lease of the client. Basically, it's there's a time limit on how long a client can be connected to a Wi-Fi router. And at the end of that time limit, the Wi-Fi router basically disconnects and reconnects the client. It renews the lease. Most routers have a fairly elegant way of doing that doesn't interrupt your connection. The router that I have apparently quite commonly doesn't do that very well and ends up either disconnecting the client completely or just leaving it connected but without any throughput. So it's not talking to anything through the router. Doesn't happen to all of them, doesn't even happen to most of them, but it's a common enough problem that I was able to find some forum posts about it on a few different forums I run custom firmware on my router so that I have more control over how it operates. But I also have my router set up to reboot itself every night around 4 a.m., which means that 12 noon, is about 8 hours. 12 noon is 8 hours after that. And I believe 8 hours is about the least time for the Wi-Fi router. So what I suspect is happening every day around noon is not my neighbors suddenly beefing up their internet usage or something like that, but rather my router is borking. So I'm considering going back to the stock firmware on it to see what happens. But it's been behaving relatively well last several days. Had some problems with it last week, but yeah, no, whatever happens, I'll tough it out and get this scene done on stream. I'm not going to leave everybody hanging. All right. Is there only one Ellen modeling? Okay. I think that's another American-British difference too, perhaps. So I know that some words in British English take a double letter, whereas in American English they don't. As a Canadian, I get confused quite often about which side of that fence I'm on, but and you know what they say about sitting on the fence? You get a fence pole up your ass. Fence post, fence pole, flagpole, fence post, fence pole, flag post, something like that. Use a Z. Keep that on screen there for you. I'm going to have to do some research for this part too, but so I will put that in tags. I don't know if mRNA injection is something that would work for this. I'm not even sure if gene therapy, gene editing is where this is at anyway, but so be sure I hit that key twice. Okay. shouldn't do this. I edit as I write, but details. Okay, there. Scene over. So what I'm going for here is that as I'm trying to sort of illustrate Emil's character is sort of the whole focus of this scene. So as everyone is celebrating the successful conclusion of a bunch of work, of a lot of work, years of work in many of their cases, Emil is already moved past what's happening at the moment and thinking ahead. He's solved one big question and he's already thinking of follow-up questions. He's already finding other questions to answer, other problems to solve, because that's the kind of guy he is. He's never complete unless he's got a problem he's working on. He's always moving forward, always looking ahead. He doesn't dwell. So I'm also dropping the in foreshadowing. I guess it's technically foreshadowing. Bringing up the idea of publishing as research results. Publishing in the scientific sense, not the aspiring author sense. So, because that's going to be a major element in his story, is that conflict over him publishing. It's the main conflict, actually. So, what do we got? Oh, 2,000 word scene. There we go. There we go. Yes. So, that scene is done. And this scene, like I said, I don't know if the ending of that scene is satisfying to you or not. Not sure what you had in your mind as an expectation. I guess that makes the biggest difference. But they're scientists at work, and it's a big, exciting, happy time, and there is celebration. But my point of view character is not really part of that celebration. He's not celebrating. He's not the celebrate-y kind of guy. Not that way. Not high-fiving his colleagues and having a drink. I think the next scene, though, he's going to be very excited and happy. I think having dinner with his wife. And I'm going to start with dialogue. And that will tell me to start with dialogue. Okay, we're going to stop now. All right, so I guess that's it for me. I'm going to go hop on the elliptical and Dusty glasses. I'm gonna clean my office today too, maybe. I'm gonna hop on the elliptical and get a workout in and have some lunch. And what else is? Oh yeah, I'm gonna film a course today. At least I've got a handful of shots that I need to do that aren't like this. I've got a lot of shots to do that are like this, and I can do those pretty much anytime. But there's some other shots I need to do in other parts of my apartment, and I really wanted to do those before my youngest gets home from school. He's writing his last midterm exam, or final exam, I guess. They're on semesters. He's in grade 5. They do semesters. So he's writing his last final exam today, and he's done a bit early. And I know he's going to want to cut loose and watch some TV or be noisy or whatever when he gets home. Who can blame him? So it wouldn't be fair for me to say, okay, now shut up and be quiet while I film this stuff. So. Oh, the cat's behind on her medicine. I'm sure she's not too worried about it. Yes, this was a good stream. Thank you so much for joining me on it. If you're watching on VOD, don't forget to follow in the corner and get alerted next time I go live, which should be in a couple of days. Tuesday evening North American time, Wednesday morning my time. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the stuff down there so that you're part of the team. If you're interested, then I will invite you to join us on the Discord server. What? What's going on there? Why is... What? Never mind. Ignore that. For some reason, I seem to have been disconnected from Discord. It can't fetch my link. There we go. Now, there we go. All right. Readers and writers, Discord invite. Oh, because that's the channel I'm in. That's why. All right. Well, why don't we do this then? But I'm learning stuff every day. So we'll go general chat. And then I will go invite people, and then I'll copy that. This is the one that you should use. That whatever. That should work. It's only good for 7 days though. So if you're watching this more than 7 days after this stream, actually, I don't know if I have a card set up on my... I'll double check that I have a card set up on my profile with a link to the Discord server. I think I do, but if I don't, I'll make one. And you can join from there as well. So if you're interested in joining a lovely community of supportive writers and readers and people who are interested in stories and words and things, then by all means, join up and swing by. We've got, as of very soon, we've got a flash fiction challenge going on, and we may have a book club starting up at some point in the future. We've got four people sort of reasonably interested at the moment. Although we can't really, there haven't been a lot of suggestions as to what to book club. So, yeah, anyway, if you're interested in viewing more of these videos on YouTube, then subscribe and do the bell thing and all that stuff. If you want to take part in the off-stream conversation, then join up on the Discord server and we'll see you there. Yeah, cool. All right. Bye for now.